Hello everyone. Tonight, we begin with a question about the submerged ruins off Yonaguni Island. Did an ancient civilization sink beneath Japan's waters? You're diving into the Pacific Ocean near Yonaguni. The water a deep blue around you, your breath steady in the diving gear as you descend toward the mysterious stone terraces below, their jagged outlines barely visible under a starlit sea. The ocean's chill seeps through your suit, the faint scent of salt filling your senses, and the distant hum of a whale's song echoes through the depths, a haunting melody in the dark. Let's be honest, you might not stay awake for this underwater journey, but the secrets of Yonaguni would stir your curiosity. Before you snuggle into your blanket, hit like on the video and comment where you're watching from and what time it is. There, it's so fun to know who's joining us from around the world. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're gliding deeper. The water's pressure, a gentle squeeze. The stone terraces coming into view, massive stepped structures, their edges smoothed by centuries of currents surrounded by coral that glows faintly in your torchlight. The Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, is a submerged formation off Japan's Ryukyu Islands, with some believing it dates to 10,000 BCE. Possibly a man-made city from a lost civilization submerged by rising sea levels after the Ice Age, while others argue it's a natural geological structure, as geological surveys suggest. You sweep your torch, the beam catching a carved channel that looks almost intentional, a mystery as old as the ocean itself. Imagine losing your way in these depths. Eerie, isn't it? Here's the quirky tidbit. Some divers claim the monument stones hum when touched, a faint vibration hinting at ancient energy, a tale shared among those who've explored Yonaguni. Picture Haruto, a young diver with a coral pendant at his neck, pressing his hand to a stone, now his eyes wide as he whispers, "It's alive. I feel it." Historians still argue whether this is imagination or phenomenon. Could a stone hum with history? But Yonaguni's terraces defy easy explanation. So perhaps Haruto's touch holds a ripple of ancient truth. You're swimming closer. The stone's rough surface grazing your gloved hand, its weight a silent testament to millennia beneath the waves, the coral. A vibrant shroud of red and gold like nature's own artistry. Divers like Haruto are explorers, their minds seeking answers where the ocean hides them. Aiko, a marine archaeologist with a bronze bell tied to her gear, swims nearby, her voice crackling through the comms, steady and focused. Look for carvings. This could be man-made. Her calm steadies Haruto, who's sketching the terrace's edge on a waterproof slate, his pendant glinting as he works. The sea guards its secrets, she says, her tone a mix of wonder and resolve. You try feeling the stone for its hum, but it's just cold and still a mystery wrapped in water. Picture holding Haruto's coral pendant. How does its cool weight feel in your gloved hand? Kenji, a Jomon storyteller you'll meet later, would weave tales of these stones, his cedar staff tapping a rhythm of the past. The ocean's murmur wraps you the hum of currents, the click of a crab's claws, a school of fish darting past the dive team's bubbles, rising like stars to the surface. Their movements, a quiet dance in the deep, a bond forged by the quest for Yonaguni's truth, echoing the Maya's unity in Takal's marketplace. Navigation here isn't just skill, it's instinct in currents, sonar, and divers' lore, a connection you'll soon explore. The team points to a faint carving, a spiral, perhaps a Jomon mark Haruto, hesitating then tracing it, earning Aiko's nod. Good, she says, her bell chiming faintly. You're starting to feel their world, not just ruins, but a mystery chasing a civilization lost to the sea. The stars above, though unseen, guide your thoughts. The oceans hum deeper, and you glide through the water, ready to dive into Yonaguni's secrets, one whispered current at a time. You're still submerged in the Pacific Ocean, near Yonaguni Island. The deep blue water enveloping you as you glide through the depths, your diving gear, a steady hum in your ears, the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument sprawling below like a forgotten city. The ocean's chill seeps through your suit, the faint scent of salt mingling with the rhythmic pulse of currents, their gentle tug pulling at you as schools of fish dart through the coral, their silver scales flashing in your torchlight. You're not just swimming, you're feeling the ocean's ancient pulse. The same currents that might have shaped Yonaguni's fate, connecting its submerged ruins to the Pacific's timeless tides. Can you sense the sea's whispered secrets? Mainstream history suggests that the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, could date back to 10,000 BCE, possibly submerged by rising sea levels after the Ice Age, with some linking it to the Jomon culture of ancient Japan, known for their early maritime skills, though geological studies argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic activity. You're gliding over a stone pathway now, its edges too straight to be mere chance, the currents swirling around it as if guarding a memory. Their flow, a steady rhythm that seems almost deliberate. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, swims ahead, her bronze bell glinting as she adjusts her sonar device, her voice crackling through the comms. Feel the flow. It's stronger here. You try it. Extend your hand. Let the current tug at your glove. Its pull, a subtle dance as if the sea itself remembers the hands that carved these stones, a sensation as vivid as the ocean's glow on the Cyclops. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon legends claim the ocean's currents spoke to their sailors, guiding them to sacred sites with a humming rhythm, a tale passed down through generations. Haruto, the young diver with his coral pendant, feels it now. His hand outstretched, his voice a muffled whisper through the comms. It's humming like a song. Historians still argue whether this was intuition or myth. Could currents guide a people? But the Jomon were master mariners, so perhaps Haruto's hum carries a wave of ancient wisdom. You're drifting with the current, the water's rhythm blending with the hum of your gear, the dive team's bubbles rising like a silent chant, their movements a careful ballet in the deep, their linen suits catching the torchlight, a modern echo of the Jomon's woven nets. Aiko sweeps her sonar over a stone arch, its curve too perfect for nature alone, her bronze bell chiming faintly as she notes the depth, her voice steady. This could be a harbor entrance. You recall the Cyclops' eerie currents in the Bermuda Triangle, but this feels older, tied to the sea's primal song. The Jomon named currents like ancestors, each with a spirit. A steady flow meant safe fishing. A sudden shift warned of storms. You extend your hand again, hoping to hear the hum, but it's just the water's cool tug. Picture feeling the current's pull. How does its gentle force move through your fingers? The ocean's whisper is a steady guide, its secrets as layered as the Maya's cenote waters. The team's murmurs crackle through the comms, Haruto sketching a current swirl on his slate, capturing its shape, as if to tame it, his pendant glinting as he works a quiet reverence in his movements, a nod to the Jomon sailors who might have navigated these waters. Aiko points to a school of fish, their path bending around a stone pillar, and says, "That's a marker, they avoid it." You try sensing it, but it's like reading a starless sky, elusive and vast, a challenge as daunting as the Cyclops' navigation failures. They watched for sea signs too. Fish migrations, coral blooms, a shark's shadow. Spot a circling eel, danger might loom, perhaps a current shift. You're starting to see the ocean, as they did not empty but alive, every swirl a clue, much like the Maya's jungle signs in Tikal. Suddenly, a stronger current surges, pulling you sideways, and the team adjusts. Aiko's voice sharp through the comms. Hold steady, follow the flow. Haruto, his slate slipping, grabs a stone ledge, his pendant swinging as he steadies himself, his voice a gasp. It's guiding us. The current eases, revealing a new terrace level, its steps descending deeper. A discovery born of the sea's rhythm, a testament to the Joman's connection to these waters. You're caught in their awe, the ocean, a vast codex of secrets, their quest, a bridge to the past, like the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. The water's hum deepens the dive, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, trusting their search. Haruto's trembling sketch, Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one current at a time. You're still submerged in the Pacific Ocean, near Yonaguni Island, gliding through the deep blue water. Your diving gear humming softly as the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument stretch beneath you, their ancient surfaces now more visible in the faint light of a coral dawn, the first rays filtering through the ocean's surface like golden threads. The water's chill wraps around you, the scent of salt, a constant in your breath, and the gentle sway of currents tugs at your suit as you explore a stone pathway, its edges smoothed by millennia of tides, coral blooming in vibrant reds and golds along its seams. You're marveling at the ingenuity that might have shaped this underwater city, a silent testament to a people long gone, their craft preserved by the sea. Can you feel the weight of their ancient hands in these stones? Mainstream history debates the origins of the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by a lost civilization, submerged after the Ice Age, while others argue it's a natural formation sculpted by tectonic activity, as geological surveys indicate. You're swimming along the pathway now, its straight lines and sharp angles too precise to be mere nature, the coral framing a wide, flat platform that could have been a plaza, its surface etched with faint, wave-worn patterns that hint at human design. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, swims beside you, her bronze bell glinting as she sweeps her torch over the platform, her voice crackling through the comms. Look at the symmetry. This isn't random. You're caught in the moment, the pathway's silent grandeur, a stark contrast to the ocean's currents you felt earlier. A testament to ingenuity, like the Maya's limestone pyramids in Tikal. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Joman tales claim their ancestors carved stones with sea songs, humming specific rhythms to align them with ocean spirits, a story passed down through generations. Haruto, the young diver, with his coral pendant, swims near a stone ledge, now his hand tracing a faint groove, his voice a muffled hum through the comms. It's shaped like a wave, they sang to it. Historians still argue whether this was ritual or technique. Could a song guide a chisel? But Yonaguni's terraces defy natural patterns, so perhaps Haruto's hum echoes an ancient craft. You're gliding over the pathway, the coral's vibrant hues, a living tapestry against the stone. The platform's expanse wide enough for gatherings, its edges dropping into shadowed trenches where fish dart like silver ghosts, a scene as awe-inspiring as Tikal's plaza. Building this, if it was built, took generations, quarrying stone, hauling it with vines, setting each piece with precision, all while humming to the sea, a labor of devotion, like the Maya's stela carving. Aiko points to a rectangular cut in the stone, her bronze bell chiming faintly, her voice steady. This could be a foundation, maybe for a shrine. You recall the Cyclops' shattered lanterns, but this feels older, a creation born of stone and sea. The Jomon, if they built here, were artisans, stone for walls, coral for color. Their work, a dialogue with the ocean. Picture running your glove along the stone's groove. How does its ancient texture feel? Haruto's pendant glints as he sketches the cut, his hands steady despite the water's sway. The dive team's murmurs weave with the ocean's hum, their torchlights dancing across the platform. You among them, your voice a silent awe in their discovery. The water's depths, a vault of history, much like Tikal's unearthed ruins. Suddenly, a school of fish surges upward, their silver bodies parting to reveal a carved spiral, a Jomon symbol etched into the stone, and the team pauses. Haruto's slate slipping as he gasps through the comms. It's them. It's real. Aiko's voice cuts through her tone. Firm, mark it carefully. The discovery stirs a crack in Yonaguni's mystery, a testament to hands that might have shaped this city, echoing the Maya's carved stele. You're caught in their wonder, the platform a bridge to a lost world. Their quest, a revival of ancient craft like the Maya's rediscovery. The coral, dawn brightens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's trembling sketch. Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one carved stone at a time. You think back to the ocean's humming currents, their song. Now a partner to this silent city, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The water's glow deepens the dive, a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni far from solved, but closer to light. You're still gliding through the Pacific Ocean's depths near Yonaguni Island, the deep blue water shimmering around you as your diving gear hums softly, the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument stretching below their ancient surfaces, now bathed in the faint glow of twilight, filtering through the sea's surface, casting an ethereal shimmer on the coral. The water's chill presses against your suit, the rhythmic pulse of currents, a steady companion as you gaze upward, where the stars like Orion, faintly visible through the ocean's lens, might have guided the Jomon sailors who once sailed these waters, their celestial map, a lifeline in the vast sea. You're about to trace the cosmic patterns that could have led them to this submerged city, imagining their ancient navigation across these waves. Can you feel the stars' distant pull? Mainstream history suggests that if the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, was man-made, it might date to 10,000 BCE, potentially linked to the Jomon culture of ancient Japan, known for their maritime skills and star-based navigation, as evidenced by their early pottery and fishing tools, though many argue the monument is a natural formation shaped by tectonic shifts. You're floating above a stone platform now, its flat surface a possible lookout where Jomon sailors might have watched Orion's belt rise in the east, a beacon for fishing grounds or sacred sites, their minds charting its arc with a precision that rivals the Maya's Venus tracking into Tikal. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, swims nearby, her bronze bell glinting as she points upward, her voice crackling through the comms. They'd have seen Orion from here, it aligns with the terrace. You're caught in the moment, the stars' faint glow, a celestial guide through the water, a mirror of the starless night you endured on the USS Cyclops. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon legends claim their sailors spoke to the stars, whispering their names to ensure safe passage, a tale passed down through generations. Haruto, The young diver, with his coral pendant, traces Orion's outline with his finger. Now, his voice a muffled whisper through the comms. I can hear them. Orion's guiding us. Historians still argue whether this was ritual or navigation. Could stars hear a whisper? But the Jomon navigated vast seas, so perhaps Haruto's words echo an ancient dialogue with the sky. You're drifting with the current, the stars shimmer, blending with the ocean's hum, the dive team's torchlights dancing across the platform, their movements a quiet reverence, their linen suits catching the twilight's glow, a modern echo of the Jomon's woven nets. Aiko sweeps her sonar over a stone ledge, its angle aligned with Orion's rise, her bronze bell chiming faintly as she notes the position. Her voice steady. This could be an observatory. Look at the alignment. You recall the Cyclops' desperate search for stars. But this feels more intimate, tied to the Jomon's celestial bond, a navigation as sacred as the Maya's Tzolk'in calendar. They tracked stars, Orion for direction, Sirius for seasons, each arc a sacred verse. You try following Orion's path through the water's lens, but it's like reading a codex in the deep, a challenge as vast as the ocean itself. Picture tracing its light with your gaze. How does its distant glow feel through the waves? The stars above guide your thoughts, their light, a steady beacon. The team's murmurs crackle through the comms, Haruto sketching Orion's arc on his slate, capturing its shape as if to honor the Jomon sailors, his pendant glinting as he works a quiet reverence in his movements, a nod to those who might have stood here millennia ago. Aiko points to a carved notch in the stone, possibly a star marker, her voice firm. This aligns with the equinox they knew. You're caught in their discovery, a platform not just for standing, but for seeing, a testament to the Jomon's skycraft, echoing the Maya's starlit lessons in Tikal. Suddenly, a school of fish swims upward, their silver bodies forming a shimmering arc that mirrors Orion's belt, and the team pauses, Haruto's slate steady as he gasps. It's a sign. Aiko's voice cuts through her tone. Steady, keep mapping, it's no coincidence. The discovery stirs a crack in Yonaguni's mystery, a celestial connection born of ancient hands, like the Maya's rediscovered codices. The twilight glow deepens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's celestial sketch. Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one starry path at a time. You think back to the ocean's currents, their song, now a partner to this celestial map. The sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The water's light softens the dive, a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the star's truth. You've surfaced from the depths of the Pacific Ocean near Yonaguni Island. And now you're standing on the rocky shore of a Jomon fishing village, the pebbled ground cool beneath your bare feet, the salty tang of the sea mingling with the smoky scent of a nearby fire. The twilight sky above glows with a soft indigo stars, like Orion and Sirius twinkling brightly, their light casting a gentle shimmer on the waves lapping at the shore, where wooden boats bob gently. You're holding a woven grass mat, watching Haruto, the young diver you met underwater now. Dressed in a Jomon-style tunic of woven fibers, his coral pendant glinting as he kneels beside Kenji, a weathered storyteller with a cedar staff who gestures to the stars under the flickering torchlight of the village. You're about to witness a Jomon lesson, where Haruto learns the secrets of Yonaguni's submerged ruins passed down through generations. Can you feel the weight of his ancient education? Mainstream history suggests that if the Yonaguni Monument was man-made, it could date to 10,000 BCE, possibly linked to the Jomon culture of ancient Japan, known for their maritime skills and early pottery. Though many argue, the monument is a natural formation shaped by tectonic shifts as geological surveys indicate. You're watching Haruto now, his hands trembling as he holds a clay tablet tracing a star pattern Kenji points out. Each line a story of the sea and sky, his voice low and reverent. The stars led us to the stone city before the waters took it. You're caught in the moment the lesson. A stark echo of the starlit navigation you imagined over Yonaguni's terraces, a tradition as vital as the Maya's glyph lessons in Tikal. But here, it's the sea and sky that teach. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon tales claim their storytellers saw the past in the stars, visions of lost cities revealed by celestial patterns, a belief whispered in villages like this. Haruto gazes at Orion now, his coral pendant catching the torchlight. His voice a whisper. I see it, a city sinking. Historians still argue whether this was myth or memory. Could stars reveal a lost past, but the Jomon's maritime prowess suggests deep knowledge. So perhaps Haruto's vision holds a glimmer of ancestral truth. You're standing near the fire, its crackle blending with the waves' gentle lap. The villagers' murmurs, a soft chant as they mend nets and carve fish hooks, their tunics of woven fibers, catching the firelight, their faces etched with quiet focus, a community bound by the sea, much like the sailor's mess hall on the Bermuda Triangle vessel. Kenji taps his cedar staff pointing to Sirius, his voice a deep hum. That star marked the city's heart before the sea claimed it. You recall the Cyclops' desperate star search, but this feels more intimate, a lesson rooted in the Jomon's bond with the ocean, a navigation as sacred as the Maya's celestial charts. The Jomon learned through stories, stars for fishing routes, tides for warnings, their trust in the sky, a lifeline. Picture holding Kenji's cedar staff. How does its carved wood feel in your hands? Haruto's tablet glows in the firelight, his sketch a bridge to the past. The villagers' chants rise, a low hum to the sea gods, their voices a chorus of memory. You among them, your voice a shy thread in their song, the fire's warmth. The contrast to the ocean's chill. You felt underwater, much like the fading warmth of Tikal's marketplace. Suddenly, a gust sweeps through the village, the fire flaring, and a gull's cry pierces the night, its wings a white flash against the stars, startling Haruto, his tablet slipping as he gasps. The sea spirits, they're listening. Kenji's staff steadies him, his voice firm. Speak their names. Boy, honor them. Haruto chants Orion's name, his voice breaking but bold, and the gull circles the shore, a sign of approval, a moment as charged as the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. You're caught in their reverence, the village, a keeper of Yonaguni's story. Their lesson a bridge to the past, like the Maya's glyph carving. The stars brighten the wave's rhythm, a steady pulse, and you settle onto the pebbles, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your lap, trusting this lesson. Haruto's trembling sketch, Kenji's ancient tale to unveil Yonaguni's story, one starry whisper at a time. You think back to the stone terraces, their silent grandeur, now a partner to this celestial lore. The sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The fire crackles softer. The village's song, a gentle lull, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the star's truth. You're still on the rocky shore of the Jomon fishing village near Yonaguni Island. The pebbled ground cool beneath your bare feet. The salty tang of the Pacific Ocean mingling with the smoky scent of the village fire, its flames casting a warm glow across the gathered villagers. The twilight sky has deepened into a starlit night. Orion and Sirius shining brightly above their light, reflecting on the waves where wooden boats rock gently, the sea a restless murmur in the background. You're holding a woven grass mat, standing among the villagers in their tunics of woven fibers as they prepare a fishing ritual, their hands clutching carved fish hooks and shells, their voices rising in a rhythmic chant to the sea gods seeking protection for their voyage. You're about to join this ancient Jomon rite, feeling the spiritual weight of their devotion as they honor the ocean that might have swallowed Yonaguni's ruins. Can you sense the sacred pull of their offering? Mainstream history suggests that the Jomon culture, thriving from 14,000 to 300 BCE in ancient Japan, relied heavily on the sea, with archaeological evidence of fishhooks, shell middens, and early boats indicating their maritime traditions, which could tie them to the Yonaguni Monument if it were man-made. Though many argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic shifts. You're watching the ritual now, the villagers forming a circle around the fire, their chant a plea to the sea gods for safe fishing and to honor the submerged city they believe their ancestors built, their voices a haunting melody. Kenji, the storyteller, leads the rite, his cedar staff, raised his voice, a deep hum, spirits of the deep guard our nets. You're caught in the moment, the chant, a stark echo of the sea's humming currents. You felt it Yonaguni, a devotion as profound as the Maya's cacao ritual in Tikal. But here, it's the ocean that demands reverence. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon legends claim the sea gods tasted their offerings, accepting them by sending a wave to sweep them away. A belief whispered in villages like this. Haruto, the young diver, now in his Jomon tunic, tosses a carved shell into the surf, his coral pendant glinting his voice, a whisper. They'll take it. I know they will. Historians still argue whether this was myth or observation. Could a wave signify divine acceptance? But the Jomasan thrived on the sea. So perhaps Haruto's shell carries a ripple of ancient faith. You're standing in the circle, the fire's warmth blending with the ocean's chill. The villagers chant weaving with the waves' murmur. You among them. Your voice a shy thread in their plea. The sea's vastness, a daunting presence, much like the storm's terror on the USS Cyclops. Kenji scatters dried seaweed into the fire, its smoky scent rising his cedar staff, a steady rhythm as he invokes the gods to bless their boats. His weathered hands steady, despite the night's cool breeze. We honor the sunken city. He says, his tone a mix of reverence and resolve. You try joining the chant, but the words are a mystery, like a song half heard in the wind. Picture holding Haruto's carved shell. How does its smooth edge feel in your hand? The villagers' faces lit by the fire are etched with devotion, their ritual, a fragile shield against the sea's wrath, echoing the Cyclops sailor's plea. The villagers' voices swell their chant, growing fervent. Haruto kneeling by the water's edge, his pendant catching the starlight as he offers a fishhook, his hands trembling but determined, learning the cost of the sea's favor, a lesson as vital as his star tracing under Kenji's guidance. Suddenly, a wave surges higher, its crest frothing white, and sweeps Haruto's shell into the sea. The villagers gasping, you among them, your voice a quiet awe in their murmur. The waves retreat, a sign of acceptance, much like the fish parting over Yonaguni's star marker. They've taken it. Haruto cries, his voice breaking with hope, and Kenji nods his cedar staff steady. The gods approve. You're caught in their faith. The village, a keeper of Yonaguni's story. Their ritual, a bridge to the past. like the Maya's desperate prayer in Tikal's storm. The stars shine brighter. The waves' rhythm, a steady pulse, and you settle onto the pebbles, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your lap, trusting this rite, Haruto's trembling offering Kenji's sacred chant to unveil Yonaguni's story, one divine wave at a time. You think back to the submerged terraces, their silent grandeur, now a partner to this offering, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The fire burns lower, the village's song a gentle lull, and you brace for what's next, the mystery of Yonaguni far from solved but closer to the sea god's truth. You're back in the Jomon fishing village on Yonaguni Island, standing on the rocky shore, where the pebbled ground now feels familiar beneath your bare feet, the salty tang of the Pacific Ocean blending with the earthy scent of wet stone as the dawn light bathes the village in a soft golden glow. The waves lap gently at the shore, wooden boats bobbing in the distance, their sails catching the morning breeze. But you've moved inland to a clearing where the villagers are gathered, their tunics of woven fibers stained with dust as they work with stone tools. You're clutching a flint adze, its sharp edge cool in your hand, as you help shape a stone block, joining the Jomon artisans, whose tools might have carved Yonaguni's submerged terraces, a craft preserved in the village's memory. You're about to explore the ancient techniques that could have built a lost city beneath the sea. Can you feel the stone's ancient story under your blade? Main Hana, the flint adze, its sharp edge cool in your hand as you help shape a stone block, joining the Jomon artisans, whose tools might have carved Yonaguni's submerged terraces, a craft preserved in the village's memory. You're about to explore the ancient techniques that could have built a lost city beneath the sea. Can you feel the stone's ancient story under your blade? Mainstream history debates the origins of the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture, known for their early stoneworking and maritime skills, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic shifts as geological surveys indicate. You're striking the stone block now, the flint adze chipping away slivers of rock, each strike a sharp echo in the morning air, as villagers work beside you, their hands deft as they shape the stone with a rhythm that feels like a chant to the sea. Kenji, the storyteller, oversees the task, his cedar staff tapping the ground, his voice a deep hum. The stone must fit the sea's will. You're caught in the moment. The stone's rough surface, a testament to the labor that might have raised Yonaguni's terraces, a craft as enduring as the Maya's stelae in Tikal. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon tales claim artisans bless their tools with seawater, dipping them in the ocean to gain the god's favor, a belief whispered in villages like this. Haruto, the young diver now in his Jomon tunic, dips his adze in a clay bowl of seawater, his coral pendant glinting, murmuring, "For the sea's strength." Historians still argue whether this was ritual or practical. Could water bless a tool? But the Jomon's stonework endured, so perhaps Haruto's act carries a droplet of ancient power. You're working alongside the villagers, the flint adze heavy in your hand. It strikes, sending vibrations up your arm as stone chips scatter like fallen stars. The block taking shape, a flat slab fit for a terrace, echoing the submerged pathways you explored. Shaping stone took days. Flint, adzes, chert chisels, and endless patience, all guided by chance, like Kenji's, a process as sacred as the fishing ritual you joined under the stars. Iko, the marine archaeologist, watches nearby, her bronze bell chiming as she notes the stone's grain, her voice steady through the calms. This matches the underwater cuts, same technique. You recall the Cyclops' failed sextant in the Bermuda Triangle, but this feels more primal. A craft born of stone and sea, a skill as vital as the Maya's glyph carving. The Jomon, carved with purpose, terraces for shrines, pathways for trade, their trust in stone, a foundation for survival. Picture running your hand over the stone's fresh edge. How does its smooth surface feel? The villagers' chants rise, a low hum to the sea, gods. Their voices, a chorus of labor. You among them. Your voice, a shy thread in their song. The dawn's light, a blessing on the work, much like the coral dawn over Yonaguni's ruins. Suddenly, a gull swoops low, its cry sharp as it circles the clearing, and the villagers pause. Haruto's adds, hesitating, his pendant glinting as he watches, his voice a whisper, a sign the gods approve. Kenji nods, his cedar staff steady, his voice firm. Keep carving, they watch. The moment stirs a blessing on their craft, a testament to hands that might have shaped Yonaguni, echoing the Maya's rediscovery into call. You're caught in their reverence, the stone a bridge to a submerged past their work, a revival of ancient skill, like the Maya's unearthed codices. The dawn brightens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you continue carving the woven mat, a grounding weight at your side, trusting their craft. Haruto's blessed adds, Kenji's sacred chant to unveil Yonaguni's story, one chiseled stroke at a time. You think back to the submerged pathways, their silent grandeur. Now a partner to this stone, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The fire's warmth fades, the village's chant a gentle lull, and you brace for what's next, the mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the sea god's truth. You've left the Jomon fishing village on Yonaguni Island behind, and now you're back in the Pacific Ocean's depths, the deep blue water pressing against your diving gear as you descend once more toward the Yonaguni Monument, its stone terraces looming below like a sunken city. The water's chill seeps through your suit, the rhythmic hum of your gear. A steady companion, but the once calm sea turns turbulent. Dark clouds above, churning the surface into a tempest, the currents growing fierce as a storm grips the ocean, its waves crashing far overhead. You're clutching a woven grass mat tethered to the dive team's line, when a powerful surge threatens to sweep you away, the monument's ruins, a shadowy refuge below, as the sea's wrath tests your resolve. You're about to face a storm in the depths where the ocean's fury could reveal or bury Yonaguni's secrets forever. Can you feel the storm's relentless pull? Mainstream history notes that the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, lies in a region prone to seismic activity and typhoons, with its submerged state possibly due to rising sea levels after the Ice Age around 10,000 BCE. Though debates persist on whether it's a man-made structure by the Jomon culture or a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces. You're fighting the current now, its force dragging at your gear, the stone terraces below, swaying in the underwater turbulence, their carved grooves catching the faint glow of your torch as the storm above churns the sea into chaos. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, leads the dive, her bronze bell glinting as she signals the team to hold position, her voice crackling through the comms. Stay tethered. Don't let go. You're caught in the moment. The storm's fury, a stark echo of the rogue wave you survived on the USS Cyclops. The sea's power, a timeless force that might have submerged Yonaguni itself. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon tales claim storms where the sea gods dance, their rage a test of the faithful, stirring the ocean to guard sacred sites, a belief whispered in coastal villages. Haruto, the young diver, with his coral pendant, grips the tether. Now, his voice trembling through the calms. They're dancing. I feel their anger. Historians still argue whether this was myth or metaphor. Could a storm protect a city? But Yonaguni's ruins remain elusive, so perhaps Haruto's dance holds a wave of ancient truth. You're clinging to the tether, the current's pull, a fierce tug against your body. The dive team's torchlights flickering like lanterns in a gale. You among them, your voice a silent gasp in their struggle. The ocean's roar, a deafening force much like the battle's chaos in Takal's jungle. Aiko adjusts her sonar, her bronze bell chiming faintly, her voice a lifeline through the calms. Stay close to the ruins, they'll shield us. Haruto, his pendant swinging wildly, points to a stone arch below its curve. A natural breakwater, his hands trembling as he learns the sea's fury, a lesson as vital as his stone carving in the village. You try swimming for the arch, but the current surges, and you grab a stone ledge, your heart pounding as the water churns around you. Picture gripping the tether tighter. How does its coarse weave feel in your storm-shaken hands? The team's determination mirrors the Jomon's resilience, a shared fight against the sea's wrath, like the Maya's storm prayer. The storm peaks a massive surge, rocking the ruins, and a coral-encrusted stone shifts, revealing a carved spiral beneath a Jomon symbol. The team gasping through the calms, you among them, your voice a muted awe in their shock. The current's force nearly tearing you from the ledge, echoing the Cyclops' rogue wave. Hold on! Aiko shouts, her voice sharp, her bell a faint chime as she swims for the spiral, her torch steady, despite the chaos capturing the carving's curve. Haruto follows his pendant, a beacon, his voice breaking, it's a marker. They were here, the surge eases the storm's fury softening, and you're caught in their survival. The ruins, a battered shield against the sea's rage, their discovery, a flickering hope, much like the Maya's unearthed glyphs in Tikal. The dawn light above begins to pierce the storm clouds, the ocean's hum returning to a steady rhythm, and you settle against the stone ledge, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their grit. Haruto's trembling torch, Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one stormy surge at a time. You think back to the Jomon fishing ritual, its plea now a partner to this battle, the sea's wrath a test of their resolve. The water's glow returns the dive a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next, the mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the sea god's truth. You're still in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, near Yonaguni Island. The deep blue water, now calmer around you. The storm's fury having subsided, as your diving gear hums softly. The stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument stretching below, their ancient surfaces glowing faintly in the returning light of a coral dawn. The water's chill lingers in your suit, the gentle sway of currents, a soothing contrast to the tempest you endured, and a school of fish swims lazily through the coral, their silver scales catching your torchlight like tiny stars. You're clutching a woven grass mat, tethered to the dive team, as you watch a group of divers, new arrivals to the site, swim toward the ruins, their faces lit with determination, their hands holding offerings of shells and carved tokens, seeking clarity about Yonaguni's origins in this underwater enigma. You're about to witness their quest for truth, where reverence meets discovery in the sea's embrace. Can you feel the shared hope in their offerings? Mainstream history debates the Yonaguni Monument discovered in 1986, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture. known for their maritime skills and early stonework, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces as geological surveys indicate. You're watching the divers now, their linen suits catching the dawn's glow as they place their offerings, shells, small stone carvings on a stone ledge near the spiral carving you found during the storm. Their movements, a quiet ritual echoing the Jomon fishing rite you joined on the shore. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, oversees the group, her bronze bell glinting as she swims beside them, her voice crackling through the comms. Honor the sea. It guards this place. You're caught in the moment. The offering's a bridge between past and present, a quest for understanding as profound as the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. But here, it's the ocean that holds the answers. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some divers believe the sea accepts offerings by sending a school of fish to circle them, a sign of favor from the ocean spirits, a tradition inspired by Jomon lore. Haruto, the young diver with his coral pendant, places a carved fish on the ledge. Now his voice a hopeful whisper through the comms. They'll come. I know they will. Historians still argue whether this is superstition or symbolism. Can fish signal divine approval? But divers often report finds after such acts. So perhaps Haruto's fish carries a shimmer of ancient hope. You're floating near the ledge. The waters hum, blending with the divers' murmurs, their torchlights dancing across the stone. You among them, in spirit, your voice, a silent wish in their ritual. The ocean's depths, a vault of secrets, much like Tikal's buried glyphs. Aiko adjusts her sonar, her bronze bell chiming faintly, her voice steady. Let's scan this area. There's more to find. You recall the Cyclops' desperate ritual in the Bermuda Triangle, but this feels more reverent, a plea for clarity rather than survival, a devotion as sacred as the Jomon's chant to the sea gods. Divers seek truth through offerings, shells for wisdom, carvings for guidance, their trust in the sea. A fragile hope echoing the Maya's maze offerings in their decline. Picture holding Haruto's carved fish. How does its wooden weight feel in your gloved hand? The divers' faces, lit by their torches, are etched with hope. Their ritual, a quiet prayer in the deep. The divers' chants, soft murmurs through the comms. Rise. Haruto kneeling by the ledge, his pendant catching the dawn's light as he places a shell beside his fish, his hands steady, despite the storm's memory, learning the sea's language through this act, a lesson as vital as his star tracing with Kenji. Suddenly, a school of fish surges toward the ledge, their silver bodies circling the offerings in a shimmering dance, and the divers gasp you among them. Your voice, a muted awe in their wonder. The fish's movement, a sign of favor, much like the gull's flight during the Jomon ritual on the shore. They've accepted it. Haruto cries, his voice breaking with joy, and Aiko nods, her voice firm. Keep searching. They're guiding us. You're caught in their hope, the ruins. A keeper of Yonaguni's story, their ritual a bridge to the past, like the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. The coral dawn brightens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's hopeful offering, Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one sacred fish at a time. You think back to the storm's fury, its chaos now a partner to this quiet rite, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The water's glow deepens the dive, a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the sea god's truth. You're still in the depths of the Pacific Ocean near Yonaguni Island, the deep blue water embracing you as your diving gear hums softly the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument stretching below their ancient surfaces, now illuminated by the soft glow of a coral dawn, the light filtering through the water in golden shafts. The ocean's chill lingers in your suit, the gentle sway of currents, a steady rhythm as you swim alongside Aiko, the marine archaeologist, her bronze bell glinting at her belt, leading the dive team with a steady hand through the ruins, her torchlight sweeping over the carved spiral you discovered after the storm. You're holding a woven grass mat tethered to the team as Aiko guides the search for more clues to Yonaguni's origins, her determination cutting through the sea's mysteries like a blade. You're about to witness her leadership, a quest to uncover the truth of a submerged city beneath a stormy sea. Can you feel the weight of her resolve? Mainstream history debates the Yonaguni Monument discovered in 1986, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture known for their maritime skills and early stonework, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces, as geological surveys indicate. You're watching Aiko now, her linen suit catching the dawn's glow as she directs the team toward a new stone platform, her voice crackling through the comms. Focus here. Look for more carvings. Her team, including Haruto, with his coral pendant, follows her lead, their hands steady as they sweep their torches, searching for signs of human design. A modern echo of the Jomon's stone shaping you helped with in the village. You're caught in their focus. Aiko's leadership, a beacon in the deep, much like Ixchel's guidance during Tikal's storm, a shared quest for truth across cultures. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some divers believe the sea guides those who honor its spirits with tales of currents shifting to reveal hidden ruins after offerings, a tradition inspired by Jomon lore. Haruto, his pendant glinting points to a sudden current. Now his voice, a hopeful whisper through the comms. It's moving. It's showing us. Historians still argue whether this is coincidence or belief. Can a current reveal a city? But dives often yield finds after such moments. So perhaps Haruto's current carries a wave of ancient guidance. You're swimming beside Aiko. The current's tug, a gentle nudge. The team's torchlights dancing across the platform, you among them, in spirit. Your voice, a silent cheer in their mission. The ocean's depths, a vault of secrets, much like Tikal's unearthed ruins. Aiko adjusts her sonar, her bronze bell chiming faintly, her voice steady. Scan this ledge. It's too straight for nature. You recall the Cyclops' desperate navigation in the Bermuda Triangle, but this feels more deliberate. A search rooted in the Jomon's bond with the sea, a quest as sacred as the Maya's star charts in Tikal. Divers seek truth through instinct currents for paths, carvings for proof, their trust in the sea, a fragile hope echoing the Maya's maze offerings in their decline. Picture holding Aiko's bronze bell. How does its cool metal feel in your gloved hand? The team's determination mirrors the Jomon's resilience, a shared fight against the sea's silence. The team sweeps the platform, their voices rising as Haruto's torch catches a new carving, a wave-like glyph, possibly Jomon etched into the stone. You among them, your voice a muted awe in their wonder, the discovery a crack in Yonaguni's mystery, much like the spiral found during the storm. It's a marker. Haruto cries, his pendant glinting as he sketches the glyph. His hands steady despite the water's sway. Learning the sea's language through this find a lesson as vital as his ritual on the shore. Aiko's voice cuts through her tone, firm. Map it. We're getting closer. You're caught in their progress. The ruins, a keeper of Yonaguni's story. Their search, a bridge to the past, like the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. Suddenly, a gentle current shifts, guiding the team toward a hidden crevice, and the sonar pings a sharp echo, revealing a stone structure beneath the platform. Possibly a chamber. The team's voices, a mix of awe and focus, Aiko's bell chiming as she leads the way, her torch steady. Follow it. Let's see what's inside. The discovery stirs a testament to the sea's guidance, their quest, a revival of ancient craft, echoing the Maya's unearthed codices. The coral dawn brightens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, the woven mat a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's eager sketch. Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one carved glyph at a time. You think back to the Jomon fishing ritual, its plea, now a partner, to this discovery, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. You've left the underwater depths of the Yonaguni Monument and returned to the surface, now standing on the rocky shore of a Jomon fishing village near Yonaguni Island. The pebbled ground warm beneath your bare feet as the midday sun bathes the village in a golden glow. The salty tang of the Pacific Ocean fills the air, mingling with the smoky scent of roasting fish over a communal fire, the waves lapping gently at the shore, where wooden boats rest, their sails furled like resting wings. You're holding a woven grass mat, sitting among the villagers in their tunics of woven fibers, sharing a feast of fish, seaweed, and wild roots, their laughter weaving through the air as they bond over stories of the sea, united in their reverence for the ocean that might have swallowed their ancient city. You're about to feel the communal spirit that binds these Jomon tribes, a strength that could have built Yonaguni's submerged ruins. Can you taste the warmth of their shared meal? Mainstream history highlights that the Jomon culture, thriving from 14,000 to 300 BCE in ancient Japan, lived in tight-knit communities reliant on the sea, with archaeological evidence of shell middens, fish hooks, and communal feasts, suggesting a cooperative society that could have constructed the Yonaguni Monument if it were man-made, though many argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces. You're sharing the roasted fish now, its smoky flavor mingling with the briny seaweed, the villagers passing clay bowls of roots, their voices a lively hum as they recount tales of fishing voyages and sunken cities, their laughter a balm against the sea's mysteries. Kenji, the storyteller, sits at the fire's edge, his cedar staff resting beside him, his voice a deep hum. We feast as one, as our ancestors did before the waters rose. You're caught in their warmth, the village a sanctuary of unity, much like the mess hall on the Bermuda Triangle vessel, a bond forged in shared purpose. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon traditions held that sharing a fishbone during a feast sealed the tribe's bond, passing it to the youngest to ensure the sea's favor. A belief whispered in villages like this. Haruto, the young diver, now in his Jomon tunic, passes a fishbone to a child Kana, his coral pendant glinting as he smiles. For our luck on the sea. Historians still argue whether this was ritual or morale. Can a fishbone bind a tribe? But the Jomon thrived through cooperation. So perhaps Haruto's gesture holds a sliver of ancient strength. You're savoring the fish, its warmth filling you. The villagers chatter, weaving with the fire's crackle, their tunics catching the sun's glare, their faces lit with joy, a stark contrast to the storm you survived in Yonaguni's depths. Iko, the marine archaeologist, joins the feast, her bronze bell resting on the ground, her voice a steady hum as she shares a theory about the monument's carvings tying the meal to the spiral glyph. You found her leadership, a modern echo of Ixchel's in Tikal's storm. They built together, Just like this, she says, her tone a blend of wonder and grit. You try joining the laughter, but their sea tales are a riddle, like a chant half remembered. Picture holding the fishbone. How does its delicate weight feel in your hand? The villagers' unity mirrors the Maya's marketplace in Tikal, a shared strength against the unknown. The feast buzzes villagers, passing bowls, others weaving nets. Children tossing shells in a game. Their laughter, a chorus of resilience, a community bound by the sea. Much like the Maya, who united to build Tikal's pyramids. Suddenly, a gull's cry echoes from the shore, and the villagers pause. Haruto's pendant glinting as he stands, his voice a shout. A sign, the sea calls us, the villagers rush to the water, you among them. The fish forgotten heart racing, as Kenji grabs his cedar staff, his voice firm. To the boats we fish tonight. The moment stirs a call to the sea, born of their unity, echoing the Maya's communal rituals in Tikal. You're caught in their excitement. The village, a fleeting haven. Their bond, a testament to human endurance like the Maya's marketplace trades. The sun climbs higher, the boats setting out, and you settle the woven mat on the pebbles. The villagers' warmth lingering like the fish's smoky aftertaste, trusting their unity. Haruto's shared fishbone, Kenji's steady lead to unveil Yonaguni's story. One united breath at a time. You think back to the underwater carvings, their silent history now, a partner to this feast, the sea's enigma closer to light. The waves lap gently, the village's mission, a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next, the mystery of Yonaguni unfolding step by step. You've left the warmth of the Jomon fishing village on Yonaguni Island behind, and now you're standing on the rocky shore. Once more, the pebbled ground cool beneath your bare feet. As the twilight sky deepens into a starlit night, the Pacific Ocean stretching before you, its waves whispering against the shore. The air carries the scent of salt and the faint musk of seaweed. A gentle breeze rustling your woven grass mat, which you hold tightly as you gaze at the horizon, where the stars, Orion, Sirius, shine brightly, their light a reminder of the Jomon sailors who once navigated these waters. A heavy quiet settles over you as you reflect on how medieval skeptics dismissed Yonaguni's submerged ruins, reducing their mystery to mere natural formations, their doubts burying the story of a possible ancient city in time's tide. You're about to mourn the fading of its enigmatic legacy as the sea's secrets slipped into obscurity. Can you feel the weight of a forgotten tale? Mainstream history notes that after the Jomon period, by the medieval era in Japan, the submerged Yonaguni Monument was unknown, with later scholars often dismissing local legends of sunken cities as folklore, favoring natural explanations like tectonic activity over the idea of an ancient civilization, a skepticism that persisted until its rediscovery in 1986. You're picturing a medieval monk now, his quill scratching in a temple hall, scoffing at sea myths, his ink erasing the Jomon's whispered tales of a stone city beneath the waves, the fishing rituals like the one you joined, reduced to superstition, their voices lost to time. Aiko, the marine archaeologist, stands nearby, her bronze bell glinting as she gazes at the sea, her voice a soft murmur. They didn't see what we see. You're caught in the stillness, the sea's gentle whisper, a stark contrast to the storm you survived in Yonaguni's depths, the monument's mystery. A whisper nearly silenced, much like Tikal's abandoned ruins after the Maya's fall. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some medieval sailors believed the sea hid Yonaguni's ruins with enchanted tides, claiming the waves swirled in patterns to guard the sunken city, a tale whispered in coastal villages. Haruto, the young diver, now in his Jomon tunic, points to a swirling tide, now his coral pendant glinting, murmuring, "That's their guard. I feel it." Historians still argue Whether this was imagination or observation, could tides shield a city, but the monument remained hidden for centuries. So perhaps Haruto's tide holds a shimmer of lost truth. You're standing by the shore, the sea's whisper blending with the breeze, the villagers' voices, a distant hum as they mend nets by the fire, their tunics catching the starlight, their modern quest a stark contrast to the medieval dismissal. You mourn echoing the Maya's faded chants after Tikal's decline. Yonaguni wasn't just stone, it was a heartbeat. Jomon ritual's starlit navigation, the stone carving you helped with binding them to the sea. A bond broken by skeptics' ink, their trust in logic overshadowing the sailors' lived awe. You try humming a Jomon chant from the fishing ritual, but it feels fragile, a note lost in the wind. Aiko's bell gleams her gaze distant, while Haruto kneels by the water, his pendant still a quiet rebellion against forgetting. The sea remembers you, whisper, half joking. But the silence aches. The few villagers who remain are quiet, their fires small, some carving fish hooks, others staring at the horizon where Yonaguni's ruins lie, their boats resting as if in mourning their stories, a flicker against the medieval tide. Haruto places a small shell at the water's edge, a modern echo of the offerings you saw in the depths, his hand steady, despite the mystery's weight, a gesture tying him to the Jomon's fishing rite. You're struck by the act, a quiet defiance of skepticism, much like the Maya's maize offerings in their decline. The sea's hum softens its pulse muted, and you kneel beside Haruto, touching the shell, searching for its warmth. Picture holding his coral pendant. How does its cool weight feel? A gull's cry echoes a lone note in the night, a reminder of the battle's scars in Tikal, the sea guarding what the Jomon revered. Suddenly, a gust sweeps the shore colder, now stirring the waves into swirling patterns, and the gull takes flight, its wings a fading flash against the stars. Haruto flinches, his pendant slipping, but he whispers, "They see us still," as if the sea gods linger in the tide's depths. The moment passes, but it cuts a glimpse of a world where Yonaguni's story faded to myth. You're caught in the ache yet. Haruto's shell, the gull's cry, hold a flicker of hope. The starlight deepens, the horizon's glow fading, and you settle onto the pebbles, trusting these remnants. Haruto's quiet faith, the sea's enduring hum, to keep Yonaguni's story alive. One fading whisper at a time. You've left the rocky shore of the Jomon fishing village behind, and now you're back in the Pacific Ocean, near Yonaguni Island. Diving once more into the deep blue water, your gear humming softly as you descend toward the submerged terraces of the Yonaguni Monument, their ancient surfaces now bathed in the soft glow of a coral dawn, the light shimmering through the ocean's surface like scattered gold. The water's chill wraps around you, the gentle sway of currents, a familiar rhythm as you swim alongside a team of modern researchers, their linen suits catching the light, their sonar devices pinging steadily as they map the ruins, seeking clues to Yonaguni's origins. You're holding a woven grass mat tethered to the team, joining their quest to unearth the secrets of this enigma, reviving a story medieval skeptics buried. Can you feel the thrill of their rediscovery? Mainstream history highlights that the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, has been a focus of modern research with sonar and submersible dives, revealing its terraces, pathways, and carvings, some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces, as geological surveys indicate. You're watching the sonar screen now, its green glow showing a new stone structure, a possible wall hidden beneath a coral-encrusted ledge. As Aiko, the marine archaeologist, directs the team with precision, her bronze bell glinting, her voice steady through the comms. Focus here. Let's map every detail. You're caught in their excitement. The sonars ping, a modern echo of the Jomon sea songs you heard in the village, a revival of the mystery that medieval skeptics dismissed, much like the Mayas' rediscovered glyphs in Tikal. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some divers believe the sea whispers its secrets to those who listen, claiming a low hum guides them to hidden ruins, a modern nod to Jomon lore. Haruto, the young diver with his coral pendant, tilts his ear to the water. Now his voice, a hopeful whisper through the comms. I hear it. It's guiding us. Historians still argue whether this is imagination or intuition. Can the sea whisper a ruin's location? But dives often yield finds after such moments, so perhaps Haruto's hum carries a wave of ancient guidance. You're swimming by the ledge, the sonar's ping blending with the ocean's hum. The researchers' voices, a focused hum as they adjust the submersible's path. Their torchlights dancing across the stone, you among them, in spirit, your voice, a silent cheer in their mission. The ocean's depths, a vault of secrets, much like Tikal's unearthed ruins. Aiko holds her bronze bell, a tool tying her to the Jomon's rituals. Her voice steady as she confirms the wall's outline a stepped structure, possibly a defensive barrier, her notes a modern chant to the sea, tying this moment to the fishing rite you joined on the shore. It's intentional, she says, her tone a blend of awe and certainty echoing Ixchel's resolve in Tikal's storm. You try listening for the sea's whisper, but it's a mystery, like the glowing waves on the USS Cyclops, a sound as cryptic as the Maya's cenote echoes. Picture holding Haruto's coral pendant. How does its cool weight feel in your gloved hand? The researcher's persistence mirrors the Jomon's endurance, a shared quest for truth across time. The team buzzes with activity, divers mapping the wall's length, others clearing coral to reveal more carvings. A fish, a wave signs of Jomon, hands you among them in spirit. Your voice, a muted awe in their wonder. The ocean's calm, a fragile peace after the storm's fury. The triangle know the Pacific, a keeper of secrets, much like Tikal's buried codices. Suddenly, a sonar ping spikes a sharper echo, and the team stirs Haruto's pendant, glinting as he swims closer. His voice a shout. It's a gateway. Look at the arch. The researchers gather Aiko's notes, a flurry as she marks the find, her bronze bell chiming as she leads the way the arch. A new discovery, a testament to the sea's guidance, their search, a revival of ancient craft, like the Maya's rediscovery in Tikal. The coral, dawn brightens the ocean's hum, a steady rhythm, and you glide onward, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's whispered hum, Aiko's steady command to unveil Yonaguni's story, one sonar ping at a time. You think back to the Jomon's starlit lessons, their celestial wisdom, now a partner to this modern light, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The water's glow deepens the dive, a steady pulse, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the sea god's truth. You're still in the depths of the Pacific Ocean near Yonaguni Island, the deep blue water cradling you. As your diving gear hums softly, the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument sprawling below their ancient surfaces, now illuminated by the soft glow of a coral dawn, the light shimmering through the water in golden ripples. The ocean's chill lingers in your suit, the gentle sway of currents, a steady rhythm, as you float beside the newly discovered stone arch, its carved wave patterns catching your torchlight, a testament to the Jomon hands that might have shaped it. You're holding a woven grass mat swimming alongside Aiko, the marine archaeologist, and Haruto, the young diver, as they debate Yonaguni's origins, man-made or natural, a riddle that has haunted explorers since its rediscovery. You're about to dive into their discussion, where science and legend clash in the sea's embrace. Can you feel the tension of their unanswered questions? Mainstream history notes that the Yonaguni Monument, discovered in 1986, has sparked debate, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture, known for their maritime skills and early stonework, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces, as geological surveys indicate. You're listening to the debate now. Aiko, pointing to the arch's carved waves, her bronze bell glinting as she argues for human design, her voice steady through the comms. These patterns are too precise. Jomon hands carved this. Haruto, his coral pendant catching the light, counters, his tone hesitant. But the currents, what if the sea shaped them? I felt its hum. You're caught in their exchange. The sonar's ping, a steady echo of the Jomon's sea songs you heard in the village. The debate, a modern echo of the Maya's questions in Tikal, drought or war. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon legends claim the sea chooses who sees its truth, revealing carvings only to those who honor its spirits. A tale Haruto believes as he touches the arch. He whispers through the comms, "It showed us the sea wanted us to see." Historians still argue whether this is belief or coincidence. Can the sea choose its seekers? But carvings often appear after offerings, so perhaps Haruto's faith holds a wave of ancient truth. You're floating by the arch, the sonar's rhythm blending with the ocean's hum. The researchers' voices, a lively debate through the comms, their torchlights dancing across the stone, you among them in spirit, your voice a silent echo in their discussion. The ocean's depths, a vault of secrets, much like Tikal's buried codices. Aiko's notes detail the arch's symmetry, tying it to Jomon stonework. You helped carve in the village, while another diver cites tectonic fractures, like those you felt during the storm, proposing natural forces as the cause. Haruto, his voice soft, suggests the sea gods, echoing the fishing rituals offerings on the shore. His belief a nod to the current's hum, the sea songs he felt. You try piecing it together, but it's like weaving a net with missing strands. A mystery as layered as the Maya's collapsed nature craft or God's picture holding Aiko's bronze bell. How does its cool metal feel in your gloved hand? The researchers' debate mirrors the Jomon's resilience, a shared quest for understanding across time. The debate grows softer, the torchlights flickering as a diver points to a new carving. A fish etched beside the wave, suggesting a Jomon fishing marker. Aiko's theory gaining ground, but the tectonic argument persists, a divide as old as Yonaguni itself. Suddenly, a school of fish swims past their silver bodies, forming a wave-like pattern mirroring the carving, and the team pauses, Haruto's pendant glinting as he gasps. A sign the sea agrees. The divers murmur their voices. A mix of awe and doubt, as if the ocean itself speaks, Aiko's voice, cutting through. It's both and neither. You're caught in the mystery. The ocean's hum, a steady pulse. Its secrets, a tapestry of nature and myth. Much like the Mayas' debated fall, drought, war, or gods. The coral, dawn deepens, the waters glow, a steady comfort, and you glide onward, the woven mat, a grounding weight in your gear, trusting their search. Haruto's quiet belief. Aiko's steady logic to unveil Yonaguni's story, one debated whisper at a time. You think back to the Jomon's starlit lessons, their celestial wisdom, now a partner to this modern debate, the sea's enigma slowly unraveling. The currents sway gently, the dive a steady rhythm, and you brace for what's next. The mystery of Yonaguni, far from solved, but closer to the sea god's truth. You're still in the depths of the Pacific Ocean, near Yonaguni Island, the deep blue water cradling you. As your diving gear hums softly, the stone terraces of the Yonaguni Monument, stretching below their ancient surfaces, now bathed in the soft glow of a coral dawn, the light shimmering through the water in golden ripples illuminating the carved fish and wave patterns on the stone arch you discovered. The ocean's chill lingers in your suit, the gentle sway of currents, a steady rhythm, as schools of fish dart around you, their silver scales catching the dawn like tiny stars. You're sitting on a stone ledge, holding a woven grass mat. The dive team, Haruto Aiko, and the others floating nearby. Their torchlights dimming as they rest reflecting on the mystery of Yonaguni. Its origins, man-made or natural, still a haunting riddle, but its legacy now etched in your heart through this journey. Can you feel the ocean's whispers settling into your dreams? Mainstream history debates the Yonaguni Monument discovered in 1986, with some suggesting it dates to 10,000 BCE, possibly a man-made structure by the Jomon culture, known for their maritime skills and early stonework, while others argue it's a natural formation shaped by tectonic forces, as geological surveys indicate. You're gazing at the arch now, its carvings a testament to the hands that might have shaped it, a silent echo of the Jomon village feast you shared their starlit lessons under Kenji's guidance, and the storm you survived in these depths. Each moment revealing Yonaguni's enigma, a city of stone, a gift of nature, or a sacred meeting of both. The legacy isn't just in the ruins, but in the lives it touched. Haruto's whispered hums, Aiko's steady leadership, Kenji's ancient tales, all weaving a tapestry of mystery that the sea guards with its endless waves. You glance upward, the stars' faint shimmer through the water, a celestial guide, a nod to the paths you've traced from Jomon shores to these submerged depths. Here's the quirky tidbit. Some Jomon descendants believe the sea keeps a piece of those who seek its truth, leaving a faint hum in their ears as a lifelong echo of its depths. A tale Haruto shares as he touches his coral pendant. Historians still argue whether this is folklore or memory. Can the sea leave a mark? But as you rest here, you're betting Haruto's hum like the Jomon's sea songs ties the present to Yonaguni's timeless enigma, a thread unsevered by time. You're leaning against the ledge, the stone's cool surface grounding you, the ocean stretching quiet save for a whale's distant song. Its echo, a whisper of the Jomon you've come to know. This journey began in Yonaguni's starlit depths, its humming currents guiding you to stone pathways, starlit navigation and fishing rituals. On the shore, each moment unveiling the Jomon's world, their stone carving, their celestial wisdom, their unity at the feast, a harmony possibly lost to the sea's rise, much like the Maya's fall into call. Modern dives, like Aiko's, unearth their carvings, spirals, fish waves, reviving a story. Medieval skeptics buried their debates, man-made or natural, echoing the Maya's questions, a shared search for meaning across cultures. Yonaguni teaches resilience like the Jomon's storm-defying faith, curiosity like Haruto's eager sketches, and the impermanence of glory as its city lies beneath the waves, a lesson as timeless as the ocean. Picture holding Haruto's coral pendant. How does its cool weight anchor you. The divers rest their voices, a soft hum. Aiko's bronze bell. Resting on the ledge, tying her work to the Jomon's rituals, while Haruto places a shell beside the arch. His whisper a prayer for the sea gods echoing the offerings you saw on the shore. You're struck by the continuity, not just the ocean, but the spirit daring to build, to seek to endure across millennia. The choral dawn deepens the ocean's hum, a celestial hymn echoing the rituals, the storms, the debates in the deep. Let the ocean's embrace cradle you, its quiet a promise of rest, the waves lapping gently as they have for centuries. Drift now, the world fading your breath, slowing with the sea's sigh. Rest in this underwater haven where history and mystery meet, and let Yonaguni's legacy carry you into sleep's embrace, a saga of wonder and light. Thank you, truly, for joining me through every emotion, every turn, every moment of this journey. It's been an adventure, and I'm grateful to share it with you. As we close this tale, I wish you a peaceful evening. May you have a restful night, deep sleep, and dreams filled with wonder and light. Rest well, you've earned it. And when you're ready for the next story, I'll be here waiting to journey with you again. Before you go, if you love this tale, please leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what moved you, surprised you, or lingers with you long after the story ends. Until we meet again, good night, and see you in the next adventure.